Hello and welcome to another amazing Turing Dev Talks. Here is Jose and I am your host for today. And I'm tuning from Montreal, Canada, and it's so freezing here. And today on the panel, we have a special guest, Eugen. Eugen is tuning in from Lithuania. And he, just to give you more context about him, he has over 16 years of experience, in the software industry, and he works as both backend and front end, and also he has a lot of experience with PHP, Laravel, and WordPress. In the front end, he has expert in React.js, Angular, and just to share a little bit more with that in mind. Today, we are going to talk about React.js, and React Query, and I'm pretty much sure that you will enjoy this. So if you like content like this, please don't forget to subscribe to our YouTube channel, Like this video if you enjoy this content, and please let us know in the comment section below what more would like to ask if you don't cover today. And let's kickstart. So hi Eugene, how are you doing? And how is the weather in Lithuania?
Hi Jose, hi everyone. Nice to meet you. And I'm pretty good. The weather in Lithuania, actually it's not very good now, but the start of the year was really snowy, so we have a chance to ride a snowboard. I see the snowboard behind you, so that's why I'm talking about it.
Yeah, I love snowboarding, man. Yeah, I plan to go it today. Yeah, after we finish this meeting, I'm planning to go get my son and go to the mountain, go to snowboarding. Yeah.
Oh, really cool. Yeah, in Lithuania, it's already now, so we don't have a chance to go ride a snowboard, but it's a good chance to talk about React Query.
Oh yeah, so so last time I go snowboard, the temperature was like -30, and my friend's snowboard just frozen and cracked the bindings.
Oh
yeah, just to see how frozen was that. So his snowboard frozen, his binding frozen and cracked, and then you have to go back to home. Yeah.
Wow.
But today is not to talk about snowboarding. If you like snowboarding, please let me know in the comment section below. If you want to see videos about snowboarding, I can share with you. But let's talk about React Query, because we are all developers, right? But developers have a life as well, right? We are not only developers,
sure.
We have a life, have kids, we eat, we drink. But that's so cool, man. Thanks for sharing that. And so to give you an idea, Eugen, so I've been working with React.js for like years. Like before we use Babel, we use Browsify to work with React.js. I started with React.js writing the old way, like React.class create components, and it's not like this. Before it was before JSX, for example. And then they introduced Babel, and then they introduced a lot of cool things in React.js that make it easier for you to work with. And React Query is one of them. So let's talk about React Query. And what could you tell me? What could you tell our audience? What React Query is, and what is used for?
Okay, React Query is a data management library for React. Yep. It handles all the major use cases one would expect for a data fetching library in today's app ecosystem, such as desktop or mobile support. It has configurable caching and various methods of server-side rendering and dynamic rendering. So it's a really awesome library that you need to try.
Sure. Yeah. Let's see. If you convince me, I will try it for sure. But what I've heard about React queries, the question they all asking me is, what's the difference between React Query, Redux, and Apollo client?
The difference is, I think the major difference is complexity, and the complexity you need to a number of code that you need to write before you start to get anything from the to the front end from the back end. And Redux and a Polar query and a lot of similar libraries are pretty difficult to start with and to understand. And you need a lot of efforts just to show anything on the screen. And I will show you how easy to start a project with a React query and what's the difference and which I will share. I can share with you some of features.
Like share a project?
For like example, why not? Why not?
Oh, really? Yeah, that will be like amazing. So if you want to see how React query works, okay, in practice, so stay tuned. Eugen will share his screen, right? You said.
Yep.
Okay, he will share his screen and show us how to work with React query. All right. So, but before we go and you share your screen, okay. What could you tell me about like how React query will improve the performance of our application?
React query has a variety of features, like, for example, refetching or optimistic mutation. I will show you. Also, if you are building the site, a site, and you are thinking about SEO, you probably will choose some framework that do server-side rendering, for example, Next.js. And React query works very well with Next.js. It can pre-render our queries on the server side, and then push it to the front end. Yep. And without any front end rendering, show it.
That's great for SEO, right? So if you if you combine Next.js with React query, you have a good application for performance, and also it's good for SEO. And so I'm so excited to see how it works. And let's see if you will change my mind. And let's see. So could I use React query with REST API and also with GraphQL too, or it only works for REST API?
No. It works well with React with REST API, and works well with GraphQL databases. So it actually doesn't matter anything that will return a promise. It will work. But you need to note that React query won't make cache normalization for you for GraphQL requests. So that's if you need it, but in most cases you don't need it. But anyway, if you need it, you need to keep it in mind.
Okay, makes sense. All right, so as you promised, I would like to ask you to share your screen, okay, and let us know in practice, so how to work with React query.
Yeah, sure.
Okay, in this meantime,
share my screen.
Okay, great. So in this meantime, I'm going to invite you all, if you have 3+ years of experience, okay, and are confident with your skill sets, join Turing, okay, go to Turing website, turing.com/jobs, apply for the job that you want. Okay, we are doing amazing jobs with community. We just launched our community, so you can go to community.turing.com, and we have a lot of events happening there. Yeah, are you ready?
Yep. I can share my screen. Yep. Could you see my window?
Yes, I can see your window. Yeah. Thanks for sharing.
Cool.
Okay, cool. And so what could you tell me about React query? Tell us everything. Okay,
let's start. I just create a simple create React app project. And after that, you need to install in my React query for sure. And in my case, I have installed Axios library. That's fetching library. I would recommend everybody to use, but it doesn't matter actually. As I already said, anything that returns promise will work.
Okay, so let me if I got that. So far you create a new React application using React, create a React app, and then you installed React query and Axios, right?
Yep.
But if you have, if we had have a React application, we just need to install React query, right?
Sorry, could you repeat?
Yeah, if you have already a React application and then we want to start working with this, we just need to install React query, right?
Yeah,
if
React query.
Great. And
if you have any fetching tool, yeah, so you can use it. Yeah.
Okay, great. And what's the next step?
Okay, so it since React query is a server-side state, how it's called, we need a database where we need what we will fetch actually. So I have prepared some database data. I'm using simple JSON server package library.
JSON, yeah.
Yeah. So we will read this JSON as a database just with just as REST API.
Got it. 1 second before you go. What is articles? Line 2. Could I change this name for anything, or should I use articles? Why articles?
Just as an example, it could be post, whatever you want. Just we will fetch articles that I was.
Okay, if I want to change it for users, it's okay to use users. I don't need to follow a script. It's the database that is that I want to use, right?
Actually, you just need to remember it and tell.
Map it.
Yeah.
Okay, got it.
When you will write down your API URL and API address, and you will fetch the data.
Got it.
Okay, next we are going. I need to mention. So for our virtual server, I have used this URL address, and I put it to .env file. So while we're building or starting our Create React App application, we can use it like we can get it, for example.
That's like, a good practice for go for production as well.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, So, but yeah. So what next? Let's go to our root file, our main file, where all start. So what we have here, we need to get our new instance of query client, and to wrap our app with a query client provider, that everything we will import from the React query library, and pass here our query client. Yep, and as well, I have added here React query dev tools tag, so we can see what's happening, what requests are going, and what we get from our server. Is it stale? Is it cached? Is it in process? Something like that. Yeah, it's very helpful while you develop your application.
Quick question. If you go, this is for the development environment. If you go for production, what should we keep it?
You can keep it. These dev tools will be shown only on developer environment.
Okay, great. It will use Node-env to decide if you show or not, right?
Yep.
Great. That's the importance for you to set up correctly your environment with the Node environment, production, if it's production or not. If it is set up your .env, right? Then you can easily change the data from dev, staging, production, local, or anything, right? That's a good practice.
Nice. Exactly. And that's it for our main file, where we start our React script. Then we are going to our main component. Yep, everybody probably know. It's in our app.js file. So what do we have here? Probably I need to firstly
Where
to
this
start.
get article come from?
Yeah. Let me explain. I have split it React query code to following the best practices, and I would recommend to everybody to make so, to hooks and actions. Let's start, for example, with this hook. So it's just very simple. We exporting this variable that we will use in our app.js, but we returning the use query function with a tag and with get articles action that actually in our action folder, and that should actually not should and must return a promise.
Okay, got it. A quick question. So what that word article means, it needs to match with our JSON structure, right?
No, it's actually a key for a React query query. Yeah, that's probably difficult to understand what I'm saying, but we will use this key when we are, for example, I will show you in when we will post our articles, when we get our articles. So when you when you need to invalidate your query, for example, to make React query to refetch the list of articles. So you can call it whatever you want, but you need to remember
the name.
Exactly. Yeah.
Okay, got it.
So what else we have here? It's pretty simple hook, and this one a little bit little bit sophisticated.
Okay, got your point. Yeah, I can see that.
Yeah, so here we also need to here, okay, trying to explain. We need to get query client from this hook, from React query hook, and we are returning with this hook our inner React query use mutation function. Here as well, it's a key, but for post request, it's you probably you need it, but actually I'm not sure if you will use it. But anyway, yeah, and here as well. Here we are passing the function that goes to our action, this post article, and payload. That's what we will push here from our app.js, from our front, from our component. Yeah, and post article, it's pretty simple as our get articles. So just API URL, our articles, and here as we pass in payload here, we are saying access to receive our payload and to push it to the server.
Got
it. Yeah, let's return back to our use post article hook, and I will explain you some points what we have here. We will make, and actually we are making here an optimistic update. What does it mean? You probably know from how it's calling. It's when you're creating a post request, it appeared immediately on your front end, but under the hood it will make a request to the server and get an answer, but your front end will react immediately with what you have posted.
Makes sense. One question, quick question. So if we post any article, are we updating the JSON file? So are we saving that in the JSON file for yes, we are. And what happens if two people are saving a file at the same time?
Do you mean database JSON file?
Yeah, so we have a database JSON there, okay, db.json, which has one article, right? And then we're going to add new articles to that file, right? We're going to improve that. No, not improve. We are going to add rows to that. Let's say we're going to use that as a database. right?
Yep.
I'm talking about if you have two concurrents, how React query handle concurrence. If you have two apps running and one person is making a change, another person is making a change, what happens?
But actually, it will handle your database. React query will just push your request to the API, and your API will handle how it will happen and how it will be put to your database.
Okay, got it. Makes sense.
So it doesn't about anything about React query.
Makes sense.
Okay. Returning back to our use post article, and here what mostly interesting. We are passing an object with some function. You can probably get from the name what and for what it used. For example, on error is just on error, on mutate. That's the functions that we are interested in. And here, what we are doing here. Here we are getting a new article that we are trying to add.
Mm-hmm.
We are doing I remind you an optimistic update.
Yes.
For our application, and firstly we need to cancel our queries. Look, this key, this key is exact
to match.
They need to match. So we will cancel all queries if, for example, they're happening right now on our front end. So we will cancel it. Then we are getting our previous articles, so all our previous state of articles, just saving it to this variable. And then what we are doing, here we have our new article. We just, with this query client set query data, using these key articles, and we are passing as a second argument this function, and just here we are getting our old data. We are
looping through that and add a new one.
Add a new one. Exactly.
Okay,
exactly.
And return it.
And here we're returning a new object with our previous article. It just in case if we have an error, for example, or something like that, and we are going here, and with these previous articles, we will get it from this context. We just replace our optimistic update with our previous data, because we've got an error, so we need to return our previous
revert
state.
Right? Yeah.
Yep, exactly.
So
and here on settled, we just invalidate our queries. Again, we are using this key. We are invalidating our queries, so a React query will refetch it once again. So it will update our data from the server. That's
and how to list it? How to list? How can we get that data and list on the page, for example? Create a list of articles.
Okay. It's here. So look how it is. When we have our hooks and actions, what we need in our app.js is just use get articles. You will get it in data variable. Then you can rename it whatever you want. And here's our articles array. And here and for mutation, we will use post article hook as well.
That we create. Makes sense. Now I can see that file and I can understand. Now it makes sense for me. Yes.
Yep. Just quickly go through here our functions that will work as a handle. When we press button at article, we will enter article name there. So we will use our article mutation object that will obtain and use its inner mutate function with objects that we would like to pass to our API.
Got it.
You was asking you were asking how we are list our articles. Yes. Here we have it, articles, and So here we're just mapping it. Here
So
I'm checking
simple. That's
if
so simple.
if the object exists, if it's not null and defined, and that we are mapping it. Do not forget
Key attribute. Okay, to
key attribute.
to
Yep,
hope
yep,
to
yep,
help
yep.
React.js with reconciliation. Yeah.
Yeah, you're right.
And
Yeah.
also, quick question: where the is loading comes from? Because I didn't see you setting up this.
Oh, yeah. Is loading is coming from use get articles. It's from our hook, but if you remember, our hook is just a wrap for React query hook. So it's passing for us is loading.
God, it's a prop
Yeah.
drilling. Yeah.
When
It
it's
comes from the
it's
context, right? The
exactly
React query context. Oh,
yeah.
that's nice. You don't need to care about this.
Great,
Great,
exactly.
great. I'm
So
going
we
to start
have
using React query.
So we
Yeah,
have
for
it.
sure.
It's loading, and just I did it simple, just return loading sentence, and that's it. That's
great.
it. What we have here, we have just input where we will put new article name.
Got it.
Yep, and as we
This
are
is
using
controlled input. Controlled
yeah,
input.
control
Right?
input. Yeah, we have a state. We have a state here. So we will use it on our article function, and then we will reset it.
Great. And I'm so curious to see how it works. So can you show us the page?
Yep, sure. Look, here is it. Here is our small application. Is running. It's our React Query Dev tool that helps us understand here again our key article. Yeah, and we know everything about it. We can see that it's stale for now. We can refetch it, invalidate, reset, remove. I won't tell a lot about it. I would recommend you to read docs, React Query docs. It's pretty clear. It's very good docs, so you will understand. But let's see how is working our app. Yep. So we just listed our articles that we have in our database, and then we are going to enter our article number 2. Press add article, and magically it was added immediately because we have optimistic update. We had optimistic update. Yeah.
And what it does, it will update the view, right? It will update the view, send the request, and if it goes okay, succeed, that's it.
Yep.
If it fails, it will revert. That's why we call about optimists, right? They think that okay, everything's go well. So this is a happy path, right? I'd say it's everything will go well until the API get broken, right?
Yeah, exactly.
Nice. So that's so cool, man. So that's so cool. That's so easy to use. Okay,
and here is our loading state. You see, if when you're reloading, yeah, it just React query gives us is loading is true. I'm loading. I'm requesting the data from the database, and when it's done, yeah, we are building our component.
But I can't believe it changed the JSON file. Could you please show me the JSON file? Because I want to see that article 2 there.
Yeah, for sure.
And I'm going to stop your screen share again.
Yep, it will be faster than.
Yeah.
And then I'm sharing my code. Okay, and let's check our database JSON file, and here it is.
Can't believe that.
Here is our article number 2.
Can't believe that. That's so easy. Man, if you have 2 nodes, you have articles, and if you have users, is that possible, or it's not the best practice? For example, I have articles and then I have users. So what do you recommend if you want to create a user database as well?
It depends on your database architecture, but for this example, we're using just article, and we can use another object, any object, any amount of objects here. So
we are free to choose it, right?
Yeah, it just an example. Yeah,
man. So thanks for doing this. Okay, this presentation was really cool. Before you come to the end, do you have any tips for us? So what should we learn React query? I'm going to stop sharing your screen again. So
okay, thank you.
You are welcome. So if you want to learn React query, where should we start?
You should start for sure from the React query documentation. As I have already mentioned, it's very understandable. It's really clear. A lot of examples, live examples as well, that you could play with it. Yeah. Then you should probably go to. It's my way how I'm usually doing it. I'm going to go to YouTube and looking for React query, something like tutorial or best practices or something like that, whatever. And then I'm looking through the videos that I would be interested in.
Nice.
Yeah.
Really cool. All right, man. So that was really helpful. Okay, thanks for sharing your knowledge. That was unbelievable.
You're welcome.
I can't believe that it's so easy like this. Okay, thanks for doing that. And thanks
you
for
can imagine
us.
how many jobs. Sorry, you can imagine how many job you will need to do to make everything get ready with Redux or Apollo query, for example. How many boilerplate code you will need to write. So to start.
That was so
even
simple.
Small complication.
And
exactly.
Please let us know if you want Eugen come again with React GraphQL, for example, Apollo GraphQL. If you want to Eugen come back and show you how to use Apollo GraphQL, please leave a message at the comment section below, and then we will be back with GraphQL, right? All right, man. So thanks for attending this meeting. So that was so exciting, so helpful. And if you have any question that we didn't answer today, you can go and raise your ticket at support@turing.com. Okay, access it. Ask us your questions, and we have a dedicated team for that. They will reply immediately or in the same day. And if you want to join Turing community, access community.turing.com. and go there and join our community. To find jobs, you go to turing.com/jobs and search for the job that's more suitable for you. Don't forget to subscribe to this channel. Give us the big fat thumbs up for this, and follow us on Instagram, LinkedIn, Facebook, YouTube, Clubhouse, and I hope to see you guys soon. Okay, thank you, and that's it for today. Thank you, Eugen.
Nice to meet you. Thank you too.